Bond court is a free service, but it takes several hours of my time every day. Less than 10% of Bond court viewers hit the like button, and less than 1% leave a comment. If you want Bond court to continue to be available on YouTube for free, then please hit the like button and leave a comment on all of my videos.
Is there a way for you not to be on the headphone?
No, I'm a computer, so that's the only way I can receive my phone calls. If I believe it's not going to come out through my speakers, I can't remove the USB cable if you want me to try that.
That would be good.
That would be good.
Okay, so I'm going to try and...
Who's this gentleman?
Who's this gentleman?
I'm not able to hear you. Can you say something to see if I can hear you?
Can you hear me, ma'am?
Can you hear me, ma'am?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
And I can hear me, too.
You want to...
I can hear me, too.
You want to continue this way?
Well, yes, it's fine.
Well, yes, it's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, sir, good morning. Please tell
Sir,
me your
good morning.
name.
Please tell me your name.
Senhor, bom dia. Me diga o seu nome.
Giovanni Torres Martins da Silva.
And I'm sorry, can I just request him to wait till I translate, even if he understands, just to, not to overlap?
Yes, and then please
So-
also explain to him that he can only speak in Portuguese, not in English.
Okay.
Even if he understands.
Ok, então eu vou pedir para o senhor, mesmo que o senhor entenda, aguarda até o final de eu traduzir, né? Só para não ficar confuso. Ela também está dizendo, uma vez que eu estou aqui na linha intérprete, para o senhor só responder em português, só falar em português, por favor. Obrigada. Está claro para o senhor?
Sim.
Obrigada. Okay, it's clear to him. Thank you.
Thank you. This is
22MM1320.
Sir, you were
arrested for violation of a domestic injunction.
Então, isso é com relação à lei 22310. O senhor foi apreendido, acusado de uma discussão, algum problema doméstico.
There is probable cause.
There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the defender to represent.
Como tem causa provável, eu vou então recomendar que um defensor público defenda o senhor e trabalhe com o senhor.
You are not.
You are not.
Ma'am, are you here on this
Ma'am,
case?
are you here on this case?
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, Madam Interpreter.
I'm sorry, Madam Interpreter. There's a woman who was...
Oh, I'm sorry.
I wasn't
Okay.
witness.
But I wasn't.
She was wanting to be
He was wanting to be heard.
Okay. And so, Mr.
Mr.
Sylvia is not to have any
contact
contact
with
the victim, and he is to
victim
abide
and
by
is
the
to
injunction.
abide by the injunction.
Então, seu Silvia, para o senhor não ter nenhum contato com a pessoa que nesse caso está sendo considerada a vítima e seguir todos o protocolo e as demandas da corte.
Ok.
That's all, sir. Thank you.
That's all, sir. Thank you.
É só isso no momento. Obrigada.
Oh, bond is $500.
A bond is $500.
Tem I'm sorry, 500 you said,
Yes,
Your
ma'am.
Honor?
Yes, ma'am.
Desculpa, senhor. Seu Silva, a sua fiança, $500.
Ok.
Ok.
Do you have a question?
Do you have a question?
O senhor tem alguma pergunta?
Sim. Eu tenho esse dinheiro,
Yes.
mas como que eu faço para pagar?
O senhor tem ou o senhor precisa parcelar? O que é?
Não, eu tenho dinheiro, mas como que eu faria para me pagar? Porque eu não tenho dinheiro, eu tenho dinheiro só no meu cartão, no banco. entendeu?
Okay.
No caso.
So, Your Honor, I have the money, but on a card or going to the bank, how do I make the bond? How do I pay the bond?
Would Mr. DeSilva qualify for PSR?
Oh, you're on.
Why not?
Why not?
It wasn't able to verify
Wasn't
any
able
of
to
the,
verify any
community
of
ties.
community
All
cards.
right. So, Mr. DeSilva, where do you
So,
currently
where do
live?
you currently live?
Onde é que o senhor reside no momento, seu Silva?
Perto do Millennium Mall, 4720 Walden Circle, apartamento 1417, Orlando. Zip code 32811.
Okay, so, Your Honor, did you understand the street name?
No.
O nome da rua de novo, por favor.
4720 Walden Circle.
Walden Circle. Ok, só um momentinho, eu peguei o resto. Obrigada. 4720 Walden Circle, apartment 1417. The zip code 32811.
Mr. De Silva, are you working?
O senhor está trabalhando, seu Silva?
Sim, senhora.
Yes.
Where are you working?
Onde é que o senhor trabalha?
Eu trabalho fazendo landscape.
I work cleaning places.
Here in Orlando?
Aqui em Orlando?
Sim.
Yes.
So, Mr. De Silva, do you have any family or friends that live here in the area?
O senhor tem família ou amigos aqui na área?
Então, eu tenho no caso da minha ex-esposa e eu tenho alguns amigos, sendo que eu não tenho o telefone deles escrito aqui. Tá tudo no meu telefone que se encontra lá embaixo.
Perfeito, só um momento. I have my ex-wife and I do have some friends. I do not have their contact numbers and I don't have them memorized. They're all on my phone downstairs.
Okay. Do you have any intention on leaving Orlando?
O senhor tem alguma intenção de sair da área de Orlando?
Não, senhora.
No, ma'am.
Okay. I'm going to qualify Mr. De Silva for pre-trial release.
Eu vou qualificar o senhor então para ser. And I'm sorry, Your Honor, qualify him for what?
Pre-trial release. He'll be released later today.
Okay. So he won't need to pay a bond, right?
That's correct.
Ela está qualificando o senhor para liberar o senhor sem fiança, sabe, reconhecendo a sua honestidade.
Thank you, sir.
Muito obrigada, senhor.
All right, Madam Interpreter, that's all the Portuguese that we have this morning.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you
Have
for
a good
your
day.
service.
Have a good day.
You too. Goodbye.
Excuse me, Your Honor. What was the case number again? Thank you.
Thank you. Are you going to call? Chinese. It's Mr. Kong. Is there a witness here for Mr. Kong? When we do the Osceola Spanish, I'm going to do the one Spanish that we have right after the Osceola. Yes, Your Honor. good morning. This is Judge Carter. Hi, good morning. This is Judge Carter.
Good morning, Judge.
Hello. I have a defendant.
This is interpreter Sophia.
Your name is Sophia?
Yes.
All right, Sophia, thank you. This is case number 22MM1307. Good morning, Mr. Kong.
Yes.
你好，这里是22M1307庭，杭先生你好。
你好。
Sir, you were arrested for battery.
您被 My apology, could you repeat?
Yes, he was arrested for battery.
你好，您被逮捕，原因是因为这个电池问题。
There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you.
这个可能会有公共的律师来代表。
You're not to have any contact with the victim, and you're not to possess any weapons or firearms.
您不能跟受害人联系，同时您不能拥有任何的武器。
Your bond is $500, sir.
您的取保候审金额是500元。
Thank you.
谢
That's
谢。
all, Madam Interpreter.
Thank you. Nice day.
Thank you. Let's try it again.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Laura Royo, State Certified Interpreter and previously sworn.
Great, thank you. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Your Honor.
Good. All right. We're going to start with Johnny Gonzalez.
Johnny Gonzalez. Morning.
Good morning, sir. You were arrested for battery.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, just put the headsets on. I don't have visual.
I don't think they have. We're in Osceola right now.
Oh, I apologize, Your Honor.
That's okay. Can you hear?
Sorry. Yes, I can hear, Your Honor.
Okay. So please tell him that he was arrested for battery and there's probable cause.
Usted fue arrestado por agresión física y existe suficiente indicios de criminalidad.
I'm appointing the public defender to represent him.
Se le está designando defensor público para representarle.
Was there a witness for Mr. Gonzalez?
¿Acaso tenemos un testigo en el caso del señor González?
We did have contact with the alleged victim, Your Honor.
Su señoría, sí tuvimos contacto con la supuesta víctima.
The victim is requesting contact only by phone in regards to their child.
La víctima está solicitando que se permita contacto únicamente con respecto al menor y que sea por teléfono.
And the victim does not want the defendant to return to the residence.
Y la víctima no desea que el acusado sea permitido regresar a la residencia.
All right. So, Mr. Gonzalez, you are not to have any contact with the victim except by phone regarding your children?
Señor González, entonces usted está prohibido tener ningún tipo de contacto con la víctima, al menos que sea por teléfono y con respecto a los niños.
You are to maintain a separate residence. You can return one time with the police to get your things.
Usted está prohibido convivir con la víctima y se le permitirá una vez escoltado por agente policial para recoger sus pertenencias.
You're not to possess any weapons or firearms.
Prohibido la tenencia de armas o armas de fuego.
Does Mr. Gonzalez qualify for PTR?
¿Acaso el señor González cualifica para libertad provisional?
Yes, Your Honor, along with the monetary bond.
All right, so I'll order PTR with a $500 bond.
Sí, su señoría. Además, con caución monetaria. Muy bien. Entonces se concede libertad provisional con fianza de $500.
Mr. Gonzalez, do you have any questions?
Señor González, ¿acaso tiene usted alguna pregunta?
No, está bien, gracias.
No.
Thank you, sir.
Muchas gracias, señor.
And Justo Gonzalez?
Postal? Approaching, Your Honor.
Thank you. Sir, good morning. You were arrested for driving without a valid driver's license.
Buenos días, señor. Le arrestaron a usted por conducir sin licencia válida.
There's probable cause, and I will appoint the public defender to represent you.
Existen indicios de criminalidad y se le designa defensor público para representarle.
I'm going to release you on your own recognizance at this time.
En este momento dado, será puesto en libertad bajo caución juratoria.
Thank you, sir.
Gracias, señor.
Your Honor, we would ask that he not drive without a valid driver's license.
Okay, wait 1 second, sir.
Su señoría, pedimos que no se le permita a él poder conducir sin licencia válida.
Mr. Gonzalez, you can't drive if you don't have a valid driver's license. Do you understand?
Señor González, usted está prohibido conducir al menos que tenga licencia válida. ¿Está entendiendo eso?
Tiene que decirlo porque te oigan.
¿Sí?
Your Honor, Mr. Mr. Gonzalez indicated he understands that he shouldn't be driving without a valid driver's license.
Thank you.
Su señoría, el señor González indicó que está entendiendo que está prohibido conducir sin licencia válida.
Miss Rodriguez, Valeria. Ma'am, good morning. You were arrested for battery.
Buenos días, señora. Señora, a usted le arrestaron por agresión física.
There is probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender to represent you.
Existe suficiente indicios de criminalidad y por lo tanto se le designará defensor público para representarle.
Is there a witness for Miss Rodriguez, or was there any contact with the witness?
¿Acaso tenemos aquí un testigo para la señora Rodríguez o acaso tuvieron ustedes contacto con la víctima?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Miss Rodriguez, you are not to have any contact with the alleged victim.
Muy bien. Entonces, señora Rodríguez, usted está prohibida tener ningún tipo de contacto con la supuesta víctima.
You are to maintain a separate residence.
Prohibido convivir con la víctima.
You can return one time with the police to get your things.
Permitida regresar una vez escoltada por agente policial para recoger sus cosas.
You are not to possess any weapons or firearms.
Prohibido la tenencia de armas o armas de fuego.
Does Miss Rodriguez qualify for PTR?
¿Acaso la señora Rodríguez cualifica para la libertad provisional?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
All right, bond will be set at $500.
Su señoría, no en este momento dado. Muy bien, entonces se fija la fianza en $500.
Ma'am, do you have any questions?
Señora, ¿tiene usted alguna pregunta?
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
All right. Have a good day.
Tenga buen día, entonces.
Justin Rosario.
Your Honor, I don't believe that Mr. Rosario needs the services of an interpreter.
Okay, can we just verify before I hang up?
You don't need an interpreter, right? No, Your Honor, he does not.
I have one. Is that Miss behind you? Oh, could she come up, and then I'll take Mr. Rosario. I have one Spanish here in orange that I want to take so that I can let the interpreter go.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning.
You were arrested in 22 MM 1314.
Usted fue arrestado en el caso 22 MM 1314.
You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There is probable cause.
Fue arrestada por agresión física debido a violencia doméstica y existe suficiente indicios de criminalidad.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you.
Se le designará defensor público para representarle.
You're not to have any contact with the victim.
Prohibido ningún tipo de contacto con la víctima.
You may return to get your things one time with the police.
Podrá regresar una vez escoltada por agente policial para recoger sus cosas.
Your Honor, in the affidavit, I believe it says that the alleged victim was moving out. We have the condition of just maintain separate residence.
Sure.
Su señoría, según el affidavit, indica que la víctima supuestamente estaba en caminos de mudarse. De ahí podemos hacer el cambio a lo de la residencia, sí.
Miss Pacheco, how long do you intend to stay in the U.S.?
Señora Pacheco, ¿cuánto tiempo tiene usted la intención de quedarse aquí en los Estados Unidos?
Yo me iba mañana.
I was leaving tomorrow.
All right, so you understand if the state of Florida decides to pursue this case that you are going to have to return to the U.S.
Usted está entendiendo que si el Estado de la Florida decide proceder con el enjuiciamiento de este caso, le tocará a usted tener que regresar a los Estados Unidos.
Sí, lo entiendo.
Okay. Do you have
Yes,
any
I understand that.
Excuse me.
¿Tiene usted alguna pregunta?
Sí.
Yes.
What's your question?
¿Cuál es?
¿Cuál sería el cargo que me hace mi acusada?
What are the charges that I'm being accused of?
Battery, hitting someone.
Agresión física, golpear a alguien.
All right, Ms. DePacheco, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance at this time. You're going to get some information from the public defender. Make sure you call their office tomorrow.
Señora Pacheco, será puesta en libertad bajo caución juratoria en este momento dado. Usted va a recibir una hoja con información del defensor público. Asegúrese de llamar ese número.
Thank you, ma'am.
Gracias, señora.
Madam Interpreter, that's all I have this morning. Thank you for your help.
You're welcome. The interpreter will disconnect.
All right. Okay, so we could take Mr. Rosario at this time. Oh, there you are.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Mr. Rosario, you were arrested for fleeing and eluding. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond, sir, is $2,500. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Adele, thank you. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you, you too. Have a nice weekend.
Bye. All right. Mr. Ruth, what case are you here on?
Ryan Gordon, Judge.
What kind of case is it?
Domestic violence.
Okay. Huh? Okay, I just need to, please pull him and then I just need to find the case. Is the alleged victim?
Yes,
gonna
Judge.
be here?
She's right outside here.
Ms. Gonzalez, if you'd like to come forward, please. Ms. Gonzalez, good morning. Were you here when I swore everyone in? I don't remember seeing you.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, could you raise your right hand, please?
Yes.
Please state your name for the record.
Thank you. Hello, Your Honor.
Are you Elizabeth Gonzalez?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Sir, good morning.
Good morning.
You're Mr. Gordon?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you were arrested in 22 MM 1295 for battery domestic violence. I do find that there's probable cause, and you have Mr. Ruth here this morning. Mr. Ruth, did you want to take some testimony from Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes, Judge. Ms. Gonzalez, are you in fear of Mr. Gordon?
No, sir.
Do you want to have contact with him? Should the court release him from custody today?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
Do you want him to reside with you in your home?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any fear of having him reside in your home?
No.
Would you have any objection to the court issuing an order or condition of no hostile contact? That he can have any type of fighting with you if he went home. You understand what that means?
Would you mind elaborating a little bit? My apologies.
Would you be okay with him having contact with you, but if he has contact, you guys can't be fighting? Do you understand?
Yes.
If he fights with you, then you've got to separate. You understand?
Correct.
Okay. Nothing further, Judge.
All right, anything from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Mr. Gordon, at this time, I'm going to order that you're not having any hostile contact with Ms. Gonzalez. You heard Mr. Ruth explain that. Do you have any questions about what that means?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I'm also going to order that you're not to possess any weapons or firearms. The bond will be set at $500, and I'm not going to take any action on the out on bond.
Your Honor, I
Thank you,
do
Judge.
have a question.
Okay?
Was there any alcohol or drugs involved in this incident?
Mr. Gordon? Or, I'm sorry, Mr.
I didn't see any indication in the report of any type of alcohol that was indicated from law enforcement.
I guess your question would be better posed to the witness if you wanted to
Yes.
ask the witness.
No, ma'am.
No.
Anything else?
That's it.
No? Okay. All right. Anything else, Mr. Ruth?
No, Judge, thank you. Have a great weekend.
You too. Thank you.
See you.
Thank you, Judge.
Bond or you didn't?
Yes,
I set-
I'll speak to you outside. Yes.
I set bond at $500 on the battery and then took no action on the out on bond case.
Sorry, I thought that was the witness. Sorry.
Have a good day. All right. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning. Cassie, how do you say your last name?
Butchie,
Miss-
B-U-C-C-H-E.
Miss Butchie, you're here in 22 MM 1311. You were arrested for battery. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You may have a one-time return with law enforcement. Do we have a witness?
No.
No? Okay. You may have a one-time return with law enforcement to get your things, and you're not to possess any weapons or firearms. The bond will be set at $500. Thank you, ma'am.
Have anything?
Your Honor, she indicated she won't be able to afford that. Would the court consider non-monetary conditions of release?
Not at this time. Thank you, ma'am.
So would I be able to call somebody to? Okay, well, thank you.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Good morning. My name is Matthew Glover.
Matthew or Michael?
Matthew. I see they have me booked under the wrong name. I don't know why.
Okay, but you're Michael? Michael, what's your birthday?
It's Matthew.
Or, I'm sorry, Matthew. What's your birthday?
Okay, it's 10/12/90.
Okay. All right, so you were arrested for possession of cocaine and possession of MDMA.
Yes, ma'am.
There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to return to that 7-Eleven, sir. Your bond on count 1 is $500. Your bond on count 2 is $100.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. So I do have a bond. I don't have any holds or anything.
Does he have any holds?
No holds, Your Honor.
No holds.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good morning. Are you Mr. Rahman?
Yes.
Sir, this is 22 MM 1300. You were arrested for trespass on property after warning. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Mr. Rahman, did you want to resolve your case today? Do you want to enter a plea?
Sure.
Okay. Ms. Haynes, are you making offers this morning?
Yes, the state's offer would be adjudication, court costs, and credit time served.
All right. Mr. Rahman, do you want to accept that offer, sir?
What was the offer?
Adjudication of guilt, credit for time served, and court costs. Yes? Okay, sir. Did you have a chance to read the plea form? All right, it's right there next to Mr. Bolin if you want to take a look at it and let me know if you have any questions.
No.
All right, Mr. Rahman. And also, is there no return to links?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Mr. Rahman, I'm going to accept your plea at this time, sentence you to 2 days in jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You can't go back to links. Okay, if you go back, they're going to arrest you. You're going to have to pay court costs due by February 27th of 2023, and you have 30 days to appeal.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Are you Mr. Carter? Sir, good morning. You were arrested for soliciting. Did you want to resolve your case today?
I'd like to, yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Ms. Haynes? I was asking the state for an offer.
Oh, sorry, remove my note. It's adjudication, credit time served, and court costs.
Mr. Carter, do you want to accept the offer?
Sure.
Okay. Do you have any questions about the plea form?
No, ma'am.
All right, so I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You'll have to pay court costs due by February 27th of 2023, and you have 30 days to appeal. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Can I ask if on release, to be released as quickly as possible because of my stature in this neighborhood? I'm not in a good neighborhood.
Okay. All right, I'm sure they'll get you out as quickly as possible.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
All right, sir. Ma'am, good morning. Your name? Tell me your name, please.
Tonicia Harmon.
Ms. Harmon, this is 22 CF 2285. You were arrested for tampering with a witness to hinder communication to law enforcement and battery. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. I don't see any witnesses. Ma'am, you're not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You can return one time with the police to get your things. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. Bond on count 1 is 500. Bond on count 2 is 100. Thank you, ma'am. Good morning. Are you Mr. Manning?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, this is 22 CF 2220. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for aggravated assault with a firearm and shooting into an occupied vehicle. Are there any witnesses for Mr. Manning? Sir, you're not to have any contact with the victim. You are not to return to the scene. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. Your bond on count 1 is going to be $2,500, and your bond on count 2 is going to be $7,500. And then I'm revoking the bond in 21 CF 9521. That will be set at none. Thank you, sir. Huh? I don't have a gold sheet. Just a second. He's got 2 other out on bonds, and I have to look those up because I don't know if I need to revoke those or not based on the offense date.
Yeah, those are the incompetency cases that he had.
So he has the pending 9521 that's set for trial. Or it's got a return date of 4/12. And then the other 2 cases are
2021 CF 002206 AO.
Okay.
And there's a 2021 CF 007884 A0 AO.
Those are both competency cases?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not going to take any action on those.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Manning. Just revoking the bond on the 9521. Sir, tell me your name, please.
Robert Wayne Coble Jr.
Mr. Coble, this is 22 MM1292. You were arrested for battery, domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. I don't see a witness present. You are not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You can have a one-time return with law enforcement to get your things if needed, and you're not to possess any weapons or firearms. And I'm going to place you on pretrial release. Thank you, sir. Oops, did I give you 200? Oh, never mind. Nope, I didn't. I'll just do Mr. Gordon. Oh, okay, good. I got it. Thank you. Mr. James?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, you're here in 22 MM 130. You were arrested for battery. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. I don't see any witnesses for Mr. James. You are not to have any contact with the victim. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. Your bond, sir, is going to be $500. Thank you.
Your Honor, the state would ask, that sorry, the state would ask Mr. James, since alcohol was involved, to no alcohol.
All right, I'm gonna decline that request at this time.
Your Honor, I apologize. Mr. James indicated he's not going to be able to post that bond. Would the court consider non-monetary release? I'd ask the court to consider the fact that the alleged victim didn't seem cooperative with the officer. We don't know the context in which this was happening.
Mr. James, or I guess you can, maybe I should ask Mr. Bolin. So I just want to figure out like the scene. I don't want him to return to that scene. I don't know if that's where the victim lives. I don't really know where. It seems to be on a street. I don't know where that is, but I don't know if that's in front of Mr. James's house or not. Is it going to pose a problem if I order no return to scene?
Your Honor, the scene reference in the report was not his residence.
Okay, so you have no reason to go back there, Mr. James? All right. All right, so I'm going to modify the conditions of release. I'm going to do non-monetary conditions of release. Sir, you are not to possess or consume any alcohol or controlled substances. You are not to possess any weapons or firearms. You are not to have any contact with the alleged victim in the case. And that means you are not allowed to go within 500 feet of where this person is. Do you understand me? So if you see him somewhere in the neighborhood, you need to leave. Do you understand me? Okay. All right, sir, and then I want you to contact your public defender on Monday. The bond will be ROR with the non-monetary conditions. Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Good morning. Priscilla Malpas.
This is 22 MM 1298. Ma'am, you were arrested for assault. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Sir, good morning.
Morning.
Tell me your name, please.
Drew Malpass.
All right, Mr. Malpass, did you want to have contact with your wife?
I want full contact with my wife. It was a misunderstanding. I tried to tell the police officers that at the scene. We have 2 young children at home. We want to have full contact. I don't want any charges pressed. I don't feel like a victim. It was just a misunderstanding between me and my wife. And the way the police officers saw the situation, this is where we're at.
Okay. Do you have any concerns about the kid's safety if I was?
I have zero concern for the safety of my children. I have a 2-month-old son and a 6-year-old daughter, and they both need their mom. I have zero concern.
All right. Any questions from the state?
The state would just ask for no hostile contact.
And then anything from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Malpass, you are not to have any hostile contact with your husband. That means you can't argue with him, you can't fight with him, you can't act aggressive toward him in any way. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand, but we'll be able to contact. We live together.
Yes, just no hostile contact.
I understand.
All right, and you're also not to possess any weapons or firearms. And I'm gonna release you on your own recognizance at this time. All right?
Your Honor, released on your own recognizance, how long does that take to be released?
She'll be released later today. I just don't know how quickly they're processing.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Ma'am, good morning.
Good morning.
Are you Miss Merck? Yes. Ma'am, this is 22 MM1304. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Is there a witness for Miss Merck?
No. No, you're.
I just saw someone walk in. I don't know. Your husband is here?
That's my child.
Okay.
Sitting down.
Uh-huh.
Your Honor, he's in the gallery.
Oh, Mr. Merck, could I have you come into the witness booth, please?
Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay.
Hi, sir. Good morning.
Hello.
Were you here earlier when I had everyone sworn in?
Yeah, about an hour ago.
Do you remember raising your right hand to be sworn in?
Oh, no, no.
No? Okay. Raise your right hand, please.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
State your name for the record.
Timothy Zabel.
All right. Mr. Zabel, did you want to have contact with your wife?
What's that?
Did you want to have contact with
Oh,
your
yes.
wife? Okay. Are you, do you have any concerns about your safety? Are you afraid of her if I were to allow contact between the two of you?
Oh, no, none at all.
All right. What about the children's safety?
Oh,
No.
zero.
Okay. Did the state have any questions for the witness?
Maybe this is mommy's wrap. Was there alcohol involved in this incident?
There was a little bit, but yeah, there was.
Any other questions?
No, no further questions, Your Honor.
Okay. Any questions from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So, Ms. Merrick, I'm going to order that you're not to have any hostile contact with your husband. As I just explained, that means no arguing, no fighting, no acting aggressive in any way. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. And then I'm going to place you on pretrial release. All right, so you'll be released later today. Okay, you can pick her up later.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Are you Mr. Soto? This is 22 MM1308. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Ma'am, good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Tell me your name.
Lydia Rodriguez.
All right, Ms. Rodriguez, do you want to have contact with your husband?
Absolutely. This was a misunderstanding. I didn't want them to take him, but they had to take him. I fear for nothing. I want him to come home. This was just a big misunderstanding.
Okay. Any concerns about your child's safety? If I
No.
would allow you to have contact?
None at all. We're good. We have a 6-month-old and a 5-year-old, so I really need him to be with me. I explained to the cops that I wanted to leave just for the sake of the argument, but they chose to take him and they took him, and that's not what I wanted.
Okay. Did the state have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Mr.
Just ask
Bowen?
for no hostile contact.
None from the defense, Your Honor.
Mr. Soto, you're not to have any hostile contact with your wife. Do you understand what that means? You cannot argue with her. You cannot act aggressive toward her in any way, and you can't fight, okay? No weapons or firearms, and I'm going to place you on pretrial release. So he'll be released later today.
Okay, thank you so much,
You're
Your Honor.
welcome. Thank you, sir. Mr. Velez?
Well, how you doing?
Hello, sir. This is 22 MM1306. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Is there a witness here for Mr. Velez?
No.
Looks like she's still talking to someone, and this is the last DV case.
Your
that I have.
Honor, yes. he is for the Spanish victim, but he's the husband and the victim is the 18-year-old daughter who is at home.
I don't remember what case that is. Was it Osceola or Orange?
Orange County, we had only one Spanish.
Oh, I released her.
Oh.
The woman that was going back to the Dominican Republic, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, I'll finish this up and then I'll talk to him. Did he need an interpreter?
Yes, she had needed, he doesn't, he speaks Spanish. He speaks English.
English. Okay, all right. Mr. Velez.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. You were arrested again for battery domestic violence. There's probable cause. I'm appointing the public defender to represent you. There's no witness present. You're not to have any contact with Vanessa. You are to maintain a separate residence. You can go back one time with the police to get your things if needed, and you're not to possess any weapons or firearms, and I'm going to place you on pretrial release. All right, thank you, sir. Hi, sir, good morning.
Morning,
Could you tell me your name, please?
Juan Pacheco.
What is it?
Juan Pacheco.
Mr. Pacheco?
Yes.
All right, I already spoke to, is your wife, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, and who are you here on behalf of?
My wife.
Okay, where is she this morning?
My wife?
Oh, I'm sorry, I was under the understanding that you were here on behalf of the victim?
His daughter, yes, the victim.
Oh, she's my daughter, Maria Goretti.
Okay, is she the daughter of your wife?
No, she's a stepmom.
Her stepmom, okay. Do y'all live together as a family?
Yes.
Actually, I'm sorry, sir, could I have you raise your right hand, please? I didn't swear you in. Do you swear or affirm?
My
that the
right
tes-
hand?
Your right hand, yes. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, thank you, sir. Do you, your wife, and your daughter live together as a family?
Yes, we are.
And you all live together in the Dominican Republic?
We used to, and since they're studying here, we have a home here in Orlando.
You have a home here in Orlando?
Yeah.
Okay. Could we bring back the defense? Well, she speaks. Was there anything specific you wanted to inform me of this morning, sir?
Not really. I just came for to see the proceedings.
Okay. So what I had previously ordered was that she's not to have any contact with her stepdaughter, and that she's not to possess any weapons or firearms, and that she's to contact her lawyer tomorrow.
Okay.
And then I released her on her own recognizance, so she does not have to post a monetary bond.
Okay.
I'm not going to allow contact between your daughter and Ms. Pacheco today because I haven't heard from your daughter, but what you can do is you can contact the public defender's office or the state attorney's office, and they can assist you in filing a motion or getting that changed if you need to.
Okay.
Okay? All right.
What's the name again of the where I have to call?
Mr. Boland, could you give him a phone number? Maybe both of you could write down contact for the state and for the public defender's office so that he can get in contact with who they need to. And your wife has the information for the public defender's office as well.
She doesn't have a lawyer yet.
Excuse me?
Does she have a lawyer yet?
Right now.
All right. Mr. Cardona? This is 22 CF 2282. You were arrested for possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver with a weapon, carrying a concealed firearm, grand theft third degree with a firearm, and resisting officer without violence. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. I'm going to place you on pretrial release with random urinalysis testing. Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, just, there would be a PC argument, I'm sorry I didn't say this before. The carrying concealed firearm, the cop, he was outside of the vehicle. The cop had to unlock his car to get, the cop didn't even see him in the car. There's gonna be a big motion to suppress later on this case, but as far as the carrying, he wasn't carrying anything. I don't know how the officer arrived at that. The car was, he was outside of the car and they
Okay, I mean,
said,
doesn't, okay, I'll find no PC as to that count. It doesn't change his release.
thank you, Your Honor.
Sure.
Any conditions, Your Honor?
Random urinalysis testing.
Okay.
Yep.
This is a PTR, I'm sorry, I was trying to.
Yes. Right.
Your Honor, it really does help the public defender later on down the road, because a lot of times they're just rubber stamping the arrest affidavits when they file the informations. So it's huge as far as knocking the charges down so they're not overcharged later. It helps.
Okay. Sir, are you Mr. Garza?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is 22 CF 2274. You were arrested for possession of a controlled substance. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you, sir. You're not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance, sir. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. What does that mean?
You're going to be released today. You don't have to pay a monetary bond, but you have to follow the conditions that I placed on you. Okay? Thank you. Are you Mr. Given? Hi, sir. So, Mr. Gibbons, you have two cases. You've got 22 MO 241. You arrested for open container, as well as possession of MDMA in 22 CF 2280. There's probable cause for each of the offenses, and I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in both. Sir, you're not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance at this time. Thank you, sir. Are you Mr. Jimenez Soto?
Yes.
Sir, this is 22 CF 2279. You were arrested for aggravated assault with a firearm, 2 counts, and carrying a concealed firearm. There is probable cause, and I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victims.
No.
You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. Mr. Minnesota, do you work at the barber shop?
Yes.
Okay. And you're a barber, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so in terms of the weapons, I guess I would indicate that Mr. Jimenez Soto is allowed to have whatever tools that he needs in order to carry out his employment. Sir, I am going to place you on pretrial release at this time. Thank you. Are you Mr. Neal?
Yes.
Sir, you're here in 22 CF 2271. You were arrested for possession of ammunition by a convicted felon, possession of ammunition by a convicted felon, grand theft of a motor vehicle, and driving without a valid driver's license. There's probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. You're not to drive without a valid driver's license. Bond on count 1 is 5,000. Bond on count 2 and 3 is 150. Bond on count 4 is 100. And I'm revoking the bond in 22 CF. I don't know what that says. 407 maybe? Okay, 407. That bond will be set at none. Thank you, sir.
So,
Can we skip Parrish?
Sure.
He's in the restroom.
No problem.
Powell is present.
This is Mr. Powell?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Powell, this is 22 CF 2101. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant for arson of a conveyance. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to return to the scene. You're not to possess any weapons, firearms, or accelerants. You're not to have any contact with any witnesses. And your bond, sir, is set. at $20,000. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Your Honor, Simmons is mental health.
Mr. Boland, do you want to waive Mr. Simmons' appearance?
Would the court consider ROR? Your Honor, I'm always conflicted on these cases just because it's, I see what it is, and I don't want to deprive him of his first appearance, but we could be appointed. We're going to be appointed eventually. We could be appointed.
Have you talked to Mr. Simmons?
I have not.
Would you be able to?
If the court would give me a brief recess.
Well, I'm just thinking after court.
Oh, yeah, I could talk to him.
You'll go talk to him?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, so you'll waive his appearance then?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. This is 22 CF 2267. He was arrested for possession of cocaine and trespass on property after warning. There's probable cause. I'm appointing the public defender to represent him. He is not to return to 7101 South Orange Blossom Trail to the hotel. He's not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription. I'm going to release him on his own recognizance at this time. Mr. Boland, please just make sure you go over with him the not returning, because it looks like that is an issue, and he's going to end up right back. All right, thank you. Are you Mr. Tenney? Good morning. Mr. Tenney, this is 22 CF 2275. You were arrested for trespassing on a construction site. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Mr. Tenney, you can't go back to the construction site, you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna release you on your own recognizance at this time. Just make sure you get in contact with the public defender's office so you don't miss your court date.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, we'd make a probable cause argument on the properly identified as a trespass, or a construction site, rather. It's conclusory statements. All the officer says is it is properly designated as a trespass site. There's obviously very specific things that need to go into it being a trespass, or a construction site, rather, regarding the signage, the letter of the font, color of the font, things of that nature. Obviously, none of that's mentioned in this case. I do believe that the trespass sign that he mentions is sufficient to charge him with the trespass in this case.
All right, well, then I'll find probable cause for trespass.
Your Honor,
Yeah.
just to give you, just to let you know that he is on state probation and he is a violent offender. And so you have a 5-day hold.
Okay, so Mr. Tenney, there's a 5-day hold because you're currently on probation. You're not gonna get released today. I'm not gonna hold you on this case. There is PC for a trespass, so I do have to find PC for that. But Mr. Tenney, like I said, there's a 5-day hold for your probation. So make sure you call your public defender as soon as possible so you can talk to them, okay? All right, thank you, sir. PC as a trespass, the lesser included, trespass on a construction, it's a misdemeanor.
Right. Your Honor, he is indicated he's not on probation, and he has work on Wednesday.
This indicates that he is on probation from June of 21 until December of 22. June of 20. Do we have a case number for the probation case?
Yes, I'm gonna pull it up right now.
Thank you.
It'll be 2020 CF 010744 AO.
Tell me the last part again slowly.
010744.
Thank you. He is on probation. So what happened back on the 18th of February is that the court dismissed the VOP. He's got Judge Alvaro is on that case, and he was to report to probation within 24 hours of his release. The VOP was dismissed, but you're still on probation. All right. So make sure that you get in contact with your PD, okay? All right, thank you, sir. Are you Miss Whaley? Ma'am, you are here in 22 CF 2269. You were arrested for trafficking in fentanyl, 4 grams or more, and possession of a controlled substance. 2 counts of that. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Bond on count 1 is going to be $25,000. Bond on count 2 will be $500 for each count. Ma'am, you're not to possess or consume any controlled substances.
That's fine.
Thank you.
Your Honor, defense does have a probable cause challenge. It doesn't say in the affidavit where the drugs were found. There's a constructive possession argument. There were 2 individuals in the car.
There's enough for PC, Mr. Bowen. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Your Honor, we have Mr. Peck.
Oh, okay. Mr. Parrish, good morning.
Good morning.
Sir, you were here in 22 CF 2277. You were arrested for possession of cocaine with intent to sell or deliver. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you, sir.
I do have a probable cause argument.
All right, go ahead. Sure.
It doesn't mention the weight. It mentions the collective weight of the baggies. I understand that there's a lot of baggies there, but if there's not a sufficient quantity of the cocaine, there's no way we could actually argue that this is a intent to sell case.
I think that there's probable cause based on the totality of the facts, including the 12 individually packaged and sealed bags of suspected cocaine. I think that would establish probable cause for intent to sell and deliver. Bond is gonna be $2,500. And I'm revoking the bond in 21 CF 7518. That will be set at none. Thank you, sir.
Go ahead, Mr. Mayor.
Are you, tell me your name, please. Good morning, tell me your name.
David Richard Mears.
Did Mr. Lorenza Newman bond?
What's the,
The inmate number is 22004603.
yes, the bond is.
Thank you.
Izzo Zanayan.
Yes. Are you David Mears? Are you
Yes.
having problem hearing?
20% in this ear loss.
Just 1 second. We have headphones.
None right here.
Okay. Mr. Mears, can you hear me better? No? How about now? Better? Okay. All right, sir. You were arrested in 22 CT?
Static.
Okay. Is that better, Mr. Mears? Okay. You were arrested for a DUI with property damage to property or person of another. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond is $500. And Mr. Mears, you do have reporting requirements when you are released from the jail. All right, thank you. Can you check to see if 22004607 bonded? Sadie Palmer.
Yes, you bonded.
Okay. Are you Mr. Rodriguez?
Ma'am.
Mr. Rodriguez, this is 22 CT 1140. You were arrested for DUI. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Sir, I'm going to place you on pretrial release at this time. You are not to possess or consume any alcohol or controlled substances without a valid prescription. Thank you. I have another one to check. 22004604.
Thomas, yeah, he bonded.
Bonded. Are you Mr. Anderson?
No, Your Honor, that's Thomas.
Okay. Who? Oh. I'm looking for Brandon Anderson. 22004598.
Anderson bonded.
Excellent. Okay. What about Anderson bonded? Okay. I think we're on Brandon Boozer or Busser. Okay. Mr. Boland, did you want to waive his appearance and have me set bond, and then y'all can file a motion if you need to? Or do you? What do you
I would
want?
argue, Your Honor, that there's a third party that says that this was mutual combat.
I understand there's still probable cause for a battery, though. The elements have been met.
Yeah, you could appoint us in this case.
Okay, so this is 22 MM1309. I'm gonna find out, we're gonna waive Mr. Boozer's appearance. He's not to have any contact with the victim, not to possess any weapons or firearms. Bond is set at 500 on count 1 and 100 on count 2.
Your Honor, what is the, I'm sorry, the fugitive from justice? Does he have a,
I don't know.
another warrant, another time?
Yeah, there's a fugitive from justice from out of Ohio.
Oh, all right.
I didn't get the bond, I didn't hear the bond
I
amount.
stayed the bonds, 500 and 100. Mr. Flucker?
He's,
These are tricky too, because I would just release him, but then I don't want him to just miss court and not. Okay, this is 22 MM1315 Jeffrey Flucker. We're gonna waive Mr. Flucker's appearance. Appoint the public defender. He was arrested for disorderly intoxication. There is probable cause. I'm gonna release him on his own recognizance at this time. So just make sure that he knows when he needs to be back to court. Thank you. Mr. Toussaint? Mr. Toussaint, good morning. Sir, this is 22 MM1293. You were arrested for petty theft and resisting officer without violence. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. Is there an offer for Mr. Toussaint? Oh, it looks like he's on probation.
No.
You're not?
It's my first offense.
All right, I think this is first offense. He should qualify.
Sorry, Mr. Toussaint, I didn't mean to alarm you. I'm looking at someone else's face sheet, so I'm sorry about that. All right, so Mr. Toussaint, what I'm gonna do at this time, like I said, I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You cannot return to the Wawa. And I'm gonna release you on your own recognizance at this time. Make sure you get in contact with the public defender's office so that you can't, Mr. Toussaint, can you see me?
Yes, ma'am, I'm listening.
Okay. So that you know when you need to be back to court and you know what your options are for the case. All right, thank you, sir. Good morning, your name?
Ezekiel Trujillo.
Sir, you're here in 22 MM 1310. You were arrested for battery. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim. Mr. Trujillo, do you work at the barber shop too?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So you don't have any reason to go back there?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm going to have you not return to the scene, no weapons or firearms, and I'm going to place you on pretrial release at this time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Are you Mr. Urbano?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you're here in 22 MM 1313. You were arrested for trespassing. There is probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender. Ms. Haynes, is there an offer for Ms. Urban or Mr. Urbano?
State's offer is an adjudication for cost and credit time served.
Did you want to resolve the case today, sir?
Yes, I just didn't hear her, ma'am.
It's an adjudication of guilt, credit for time served, and court costs.
Okay, can I plead no contest to that and
Yes.
do the same normal process?
Yes, you can.
Yes, ma'am, we can resolve that today.
All right, so you can't go back to Wyndham Resorts either.
Yeah, nope, I understand.
Okay, do you have things there?
I have friends that can load the car, and then I'll just be off the property on the sidewalk or at the local McDonald's that they can deliver
I
the
think
car
you
and the
should
stuff to.
be at the McDonald's.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Okay,
no
all right,
problem,
sir.
ma'am.
Do you have any questions about the plea form?
No, I've gone through the process and read this before, ma'am.
All right. I will accept your plea of no contest at this time, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in jail with credit for 2 days' time served.
1 day, Your Honor.
You'll have to pay court costs. Those are going to be due by February 27th of 2023. You have 30 days to appeal. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It was a 1 day time, sir.
Oh, okay. Can you make that? Thank you. You, Mr. Williams?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, this is 22 MM 1312. You were arrested for battery. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim or possess any weapons or firearms, and your bond is $500. Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, inmate Harris bonded.
Oh, thank you. Are you Mr. Hull? Yes, Mr. Hull, you're here for an out-of-county warrant out of Columbia County related to a violation of probation. There is no bond on the warrant. Columbia County is going to come and pick you up, and you'll see a judge when you get there.
Okay, now do you know for sure if they were coming? Because this happened before and they said that they weren't coming.
Have you all teletyped Columbia County? Do we have any information from them? Are they still doing that on the out-of-county cases? Oh, really? Okay.
It was transport.
Pardon me?
I believe I see a teletype that said it will forward transportation.
I can't hear you.
That it will forward to transportation.
It was forwarded to transportation? All right, Mr. Hall, I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent you. I'm gonna so they have 72 hours normally to come get you. That's an administrative order, that's not the law, okay? So what's today, Sunday? I'm gonna reset your case for Wednesday to see if they've come to pick you up, okay? And I'm gonna find out who is covering the jail this week, and I'll send the judge an email to let them know why I reset your case, because this is a Dwillis. If I could change the bench warrant, I would, but I can't.
No problem.
And so I'm gonna write this down. And then if they haven't come to get you on Monday, the judge can address it at that time.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you, sir. All right. Are you Mr. Jackson? Good, sir. You are here for an out-of-county warrant out of St. Johns County. This is a violation of probation related to failure to return a rented vehicle. The bond is set at none. St. Johns County is gonna come and pick you up, and you'll see a judge when you get there. Thank you.
Your Honor,
Yes.
it may clog his mental health.
Okay. Mr. Boland, do you want to add Mr. Clark to your list to go talk to?
Yes, Your Honor. This is-
He was arrested yesterday for an open container.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And he's
Yeah, I'll
got an open trespass. So if you could please just talk to him. All right, so we're gonna waive Mr. Clark's appearance in MO 231. He was arrested for open container. There's probable cause. I'm appointing the public defender. I'm gonna release him on his own recognizance and not take any action on the out on bond, 22 MM 163. And then, Mr. Bowen, just make sure you explain to him his court dates.
Understood, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Judge.
Are you Ms. McCullough?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. McCullough, you're here in 22 MM 1288. You were arrested for trespassing in a structure.
Yes, ma'am.
There is probable cause, and I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Did you want to resolve the trespassing case today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is it an adjudication, credit time served, and court costs with no return?
Sorry, Your Honor.
It's okay.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Ms. McCullough, do you have any questions about the plea form?
Plea form?
Do you have any questions about it?
No, I'm ready to resolve today and get released to go home today.
Okay. So,
With
Ms.
no returns.
Ms. McCullough, exactly. You understand you can't go back?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, to 1327 Arlington Street?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
think is the Maxwell Terrace Apartments, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't go back there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It's the house, yeah.
Are we on the same page?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so, Ms. McCullough, I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty,
Yes,
sentence you to 3 days in jail with credit for 3 days' time served.
Okay, thank
You have to pay court costs. Those are gonna be due by February 27th of 2023. And you have 30 days to appeal. I'll take no action on 22 CF 2078. All right, Ms. McCullough, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a very blessed day, Judge. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye, ma'am.
Please.
Are you Mr. Standing Bear?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
All right, sir, this is 18 CF 6863. Sir, you were arrested for violating your probation based upon the offense of loitering or prowling. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender in both cases. Bond on MM 1303 is 500. The bond on the VOP will be set at none. And I believe you'll see Judge Lattimore sometime next week on the VOP. All right, thank you, sir. You too. Good morning, sir. Are you Mr. Stone? Mr. Stone, this is 19 CF 6195. You were arrested for violating your probation for committing the offense of
Your Honor, we could waive the reading of the charge.
well, I'm just trying to.
It was for the warrant yesterday, for the, failed to register.
Oh, okay. All right, Mr. Stone. There's probable cause for your arrest for violation of probation. I'll appoint the public defender. Your bond is set at none. You're gonna see Judge Lattimore, next week on the VOP. Thank you. Are you Ms. Stover?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Stover, this is 20 CF 444. You have allegedly violated your probation by committing a new law offense of criminal mischief on July 20th of 2021 in case number 21 MM 7118. The offense of criminal mischief and the offenses of battery. At this time, your bond is set at none. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You'll see Judge Lattimore next week. Thank you. Mr. Williams, good morning. Sir, you've got 5 cases. You've got several violations of probation cases that are predicated on a warrant in 22 CF 1625 for grand theft of a motor vehicle, as well as 22 CF 2281, which is a driving while license suspended. There is probable cause for that offense. I'll appoint the public defender in all of the cases. The bond in 22 CF 2281 is going to be $500. The bond in 22 CF 1625 is $500. You're not to drive without a valid driver's license, and you're not to have any contact with the victim in 1625. The bond on all of the VOPs, CF 1167, CF 3110, CF 580 are all set at none, and you will see Judge Lattimore next week on the violations of probation. Thank you, sir. Sir, good afternoon. Your name?
Javier Ayala.
Mr. Ayala, this is 20 MO 242. You were arrested for open container, and there's probable cause. Is there an offer for Mr. Ayala?
Withholding court costs.
Would you like to accept that offer of withhold and court cost?
What did she say? I can't hear her. I'm kind of.
Sure. Yes.
He wants to accept that, please.
Mr. Ayala, did you have any questions about the plea form?
No, ma'am.
All right, sir, I'm going to accept your plea, withhold adjudication, sentence you to 2 days in jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You have to pay court costs, which will be due by February 27th of 2023. You have 30 days to appeal. Thank you.
Barely hear you. I'm sorry. I'm kind of deaf.
Also voting rights. Crazy.
Are you Mr. Davis?
Yes, Mark Allen Davis.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Davis. This is 22 CO 267. You were arrested for soliciting without a permit. There is probable cause. Was there an offer for Mr. Davis?
Adjudication, credit time served, and court costs.
Mr. Davis, did you want to resolve your case today and accept that offer?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you have any questions about the plea form?
None, Your Honor.
All right, sir, I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in jail with credit for 2 days' time served.
Yes.
We're going to have to pay court costs due by February 27th of 2023, and you've got 30 days to appeal.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Ms.? Okay. All right, it looks like that's everything this morning. So.
Bond court is a free service, but it takes several hours of my time every day. Less than 10% of Bond court viewers hit the like button, and less than 1% leave a comment. If you want Bond court to continue to be available on YouTube for free, then please hit the like button and leave a comment on all of my videos.